Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we decode the complicated into the crystal clear. So we've got a report here that's about as exciting as watching paint dry, but stick with us because sometimes the quietest filing signals something big is brewing. Alright folks, so what we have here is a Form 8K filing from StoneX Group Inc. Now an 8K is basically a company's way of reporting any major events that shareholders should know about right away. Think of it as the company's urgent news flash system, and in this particular flash, StoneX is telling us about a new share offering they've set up. Specifically on August 29th of 2025, StoneX filed a prospectus supplement. Now what that means in plain English is they've registered a bunch more of their company stock. So some existing shareholders can sell it. The key detail here, and this is important, is that the company itself is not making any money from this. This is just allowing some early investors or large shareholders to cash out some of their holdings. They're talking about over 3 million shares here that can be resold into the market. Now, when a lot of shares become available, especially if the company isn't seeing a huge demand surge, it can sometimes put downward pressure on the stock price. It's just basic supply and demand, right? But since the company gets no money from this, it's not diluting its own value or raising capital. It's more of a liquidity event for those selling stockholders. They're doing this under a registration statement they already had in place, which makes it a bit smoother. It's like they had a pre-approved permit to sell more stock, and now they're just using it for some of their big owners. The shares themselves are common stock, which is what most people think of when they talk about owning a piece of a company. The par value is a very small accounting concept, practically meaning nothing for us as investors in terms of real value. And the stock trades under the ticker symbol SNX on the NASDAQ exchange. So if you follow StoneX, that's the symbol to keep an eye on. They've also included an opinion from a law firm, Davis Polk and Wardwell LLP. This is pretty standard for these kinds of filings. It's essentially a legal expert saying that yes, these shares are valid and properly registered according to the law. It's like getting a notarized stamp of approval on the paperwork. And along with that opinion, they've included a consent from the same law firm. This just means the law firm agrees that their opinion can be used as part of this official filing. Again, just more procedural stuff to show everything's above board. Scroll item 8.01, other events. Scroll Classo. So what's the takeaway from all this? The main event, the other event as they call it, is this registration of shares for resale. It doesn't scream explosive growth or a major turnaround, but it does tell us that some existing stakeholders are looking to liquidate a significant chunk of their holdings. This might be for diversification, rebalancing their portfolio, or perhaps they just see better opportunities elsewhere. This filing doesn't give us any juicy financial numbers like revenue or profit figures, because that's not the purpose of an 8K focused on this kind of event. We don't see reports of new deals signed, new product launches, or executive departures here. It's purely about the mechanics of allowing existing shareholders to sell their stock. Now, if we think about StoneX Group Inc. itself, they're in the financial services industry. They offer a range of services like trading, clearing, and advisory. They work with a lot of different types of clients, from individual investors to large institutions. So when you see something like this, you have to consider the broader market context and how these types of consider the broader market context and how these types of companies are generally performing. If the overall market is strong and investor confidence is high, a large block of shares being made available might be absorbed easily. However, if the market is shaky or if StoneX itself has recently shown signs of weakness, this could add to selling pressure without more context. From their regular financial reports like a 10Q or 10K, it's hard to say definitively if this is a positive or negative sign for the company's immediate stock performance. However, the fact that they are using an existing shelf registration statement suggests that this move was planned. They had the capacity to register these shares earlier, and now they're executing on that plan. It's not an emergency raise of capital or a sudden announcement of a new strategy. It's more of a procedural filing to facilitate the sale of shares by others. The key thing to remember is that the company itself isn't getting any cash from this, so we can't look at this as a sign of the company's financial health in terms of their own operations or growth. Instead, it reflects the actions and intentions of its shareholders. Looking at the structure of the filing, it's very straightforward. They state the date the event occurred, define what the event is, explain the implications for the company and its shareholders, and then list the exhibits that support the filing. The exhibits here are legal opinions and consents, which are crucial for legal compliance. So to wrap it up, StoneX Group Inc. is enabling its selling stockholders to offer over 3 million shares for resale. The company gets no proceeds from this. This is largely a procedural step, and its impact on the stock price will depend heavily on market conditions and investor sentiment towards StoneX. It's one piece of the puzzle, and to get the full picture of where StoneX stands, you'd need to look at their more detailed financial filings. Now looking at this filing more broadly, StoneX Group Inc., a player in the financial services sector, is facilitating a secondary offering of its stock. This means existing shareholders are planning to sell their shares, not that the company is issuing new stock, to raise money. This is often done for portfolio diversification by the selling stockholders. While it doesn't directly impact the company's cash reserves, a large influx of shares for sale can, under certain market conditions, put pressure on the stock price. The fact that the company generated this filing indicates a proactive approach to managing its shareholder base and regulatory requirements. The legal opinion from Davis Polk and Wardwell LLP serves as a testament to the structured and compliant nature of this process. Ultimately, the success of this secondary offering will be gauged by how smoothly the shares are absorbed by the market, which is influenced by broader economic trends and investor confidence in the financial services industry. Alright, that's our breakdown of this StoneX Group Inc. filing. What's your take on these share movement announcements and what they signal for a company's stock? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives into corporate filings. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description to continue the conversation. Thanks for watching. See you next time.